Welcome to Esthetician Edit.
I'm Anastasia.
And I'm Samantha. And today we have Grace here with us from Radiant Grace. And we're going to be talking about how to beat comparison and how to just be authentically you and how that can actually benefit your business. So, welcome.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to be here. I love both of you.
We love you too.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Grace is actually Anastasia's facialist.
Yes.
Yeah. Just hasn't been to her in a while because she moved up north, but she was able to come down and
we'll
see
get
us.
into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. So, Grace, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, what it is that you do, how you've gotten to where you are now? Just give us a little bit of a background.
Yeah. So my name is Grace Schindler. I am the owner of Radiant Grace in Pompano Beach, Florida. I've been doing aesthetics for nearly 18 years, and my career was really born in luxury spas. So I decided to take what I've learned and bring it into my own practice. So I definitely blend a lot of energy healing with things that are really going to cause a change in your skin. So like relaxation with results. So that's kind of like my thing. So yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and I can't wait to talk to you guys more about everything.
We're excited too. I just want to say, like, I remember because back in the day we used to go get facials by a lot of estheticians, and I remember yours being unique just because, like, when you would, first of all, it's super cute. Like,
absolutely love.
So cute. Like the way that she just decorated her spa. But I remember, like, you had us choose cards.
Yes.
Like a little, what are they called?
Oracle cards.
Oracle cards.
And I still do that.
You still do
As
that.
a complimentary, add-on to any service, you can draw an Oracle card.
It was more of like an experience.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's what, like, sets you apart is that you don't just do a facial. Like, you're making an experience as soon as, like, you walk in. And everything's, I don't know, I'm just a very girly girl. So when I would, like, walk in, I'd be like, oh my God, everything's so cute. Even the mugs, like, everything was just so cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of, like, my aesthetic is aesthetics. Like, I definitely want people to have an experience. Like, I love pretty stuff. I think that if you're going to invest time and money, like, I don't know, I just think it should be an experience. Like, that's what I'm offering is an experience. So I want you to feel pampered, but also, like, get results. Like, feel glowy and, like, your skin's clean and, lighter and renewed.
That's definitely something that you feel, walking out of your place. You feel renewed.
Thank you.
Like a new person and very, very, very result driven. So I give you props to that.
Yes.
Just speaking a little bit more on what Sam said with, your place being unique, what would you say sets you apart from other estheticians who have their own spas?
Well, I feel like because of my background in luxury hotel spas, I definitely learned a lot as far as, like, little touches that really add a lot of luxurious enhancement to every service. So I feel like bringing that in has been a huge part of my practice and how I give a facial. I also think being a Reiki master is something because I definitely blend, like, my energy work into my treatments, and I really focus on, like, really your spirit too, not just, like, your outer, your skin and all of that. Like, it's so much about, like, mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, and I think you do an amazing job with that.
Oh,
like,
thank
at least
you.
I haven't been to the new location, but with the old location, every time I'd walk in, I would feel like that good energy. Like, wow, okay, I can take a big deep breath and relax and feel like, okay, now it's ready. I'm ready for her to go ahead and take care of me.
Yeah.
And even throughout the facial, like you said, you give off that energy to kind of give that client that experience, which then at the end of the facial, you walk out with, like, that glow that you're talking about and that relaxation that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I do think that you do a really good job with that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I think you just have, like, that energy of, like, like the first time I met you, it wasn't like hard to open up to you. And I don't know if it's also the Oracle card, because when you read it, it's always like so aligned to whatever it is that you're going through. So then you're like thinking about it, and then we start talking about it during the facial and stuff like that. So it's just like it's a very like open, safe space. Also,
yes, I love that you
really
said that, because that is definitely something that I try to do. Is like when I start my day, I like do a prayer. I do Reiki in my room. I think about opening a space, opening a healing space. And like in between clients, I do the same thing. Like I cleanse the energy. Like I just want it to be that you feel a safe space, that you can really let go and relax and receive so much more than just a facial.
Yeah, it's about the experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like looking good, but also feeling good.
Feeling good. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, because that's what it's about, you know? You can be like, obviously, you can be like amazing and beautiful and all that, but if you don't feel good inside, like,
it's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do anything for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like, so I hadn't gotten a facial in a while, and I actually went to someone recently, and she's like she is also more into like the holistic, the energy work. She's also a massage therapist. And like, I felt like the feeling that you get when you're getting a facial, like it makes you feel like, oh, I'm worthy of this. Like I should be pampered. Like it is like an act of self-love, and you're reminded of it, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I should be more gentle with myself. And so that feeling to me is like, it's even greater than giving someone like the results, you know, even though it does show in the skin. Like everything that you feel inward shows outward.
Yes, totally.
And, like,
totally.
So
yeah, I love that.
Accomplished.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
For 18 years.
For 18 years.
Well, in March it will be 18 years.
Okay.
So,
and would you say that you've expanded with being an esthetician, meaning like with everything that you say that you do now? Are there a lot more services that you're starting to offer? Have you gone through like a drastic change in what you started with and what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I feel like over the years, I've done so many different things. When I started out, I did a lot of waxing. I've even done microblading. I don't really do that anymore because I love skin, and I feel that I don't want to be a jack of all trades, really. I want to like have a niche. So for me, it's like really about like skin, energy work, soulful skincare, which is what my brand is about. And now I'm offering massage therapy and Ayurveda at Radiant Grace with my talented massage therapist, Ileana. And it's just been really great to expand into more healing services like Ayurveda, which is an ancient healing practice from India. And it specializes in like mind, body, spirit with like herbs, breath work, different exercises, even meditations. Like it's a really cool addition. So it like really goes with what it is that I'm already offering. So I've definitely expanded in that in the last year. And as far as like how I do skincare is definitely all about like aging well. So my whole philosophy is about using our own body to work with itself instead of like adding in anything foreign. So I love microchanneling. I definitely love some active peels and different things like that. I do offer an acne boot camp, and I feel like, yeah, I've definitely changed my services and kind of streamlined more about who it is that I want to be, especially in this last year with my move up north.
And how has that been?
Oh my God. So it's been a transition. I will tell you the truth. It's been a transition because I've been in Miami the last 12, 13 years. So my clientele, you know, I had so many clients down here, and, you know, just like moving into a new place and being like the new kid. And like, I was so used to in Miami, like I had so many referrals, which is like my favorite way to grow.
Yeah.
And in Pompano, it's like people are like, oh, I don't know. I already have someone, you know, and it's just like a different.
It's a change.
Yeah, it's a different thing. And like, but it also like I was slower in the beginning. Now I'm like starting to pick up, but like it definitely gave me the time that I needed to like really get like targeted on who I am and what my brand is and where I want to go and what I want to offer. And like I just did with Ileana, actually, we had our first event. We have like a little garden in the back, and we did a Reiki circle.
Oh, nice.
So like that's really cool too, like to be able to like offer events and different things. So yeah, it's been really good, but it's been a transition, and it's been another level of like learning in my career. So I feel like that's been my entire career. It's like always learning more and more and more, you know?
Well, I think you've been doing a great job. I mean, I've been seeing your Instagram. You know, you've
thank
been
you.
posting a lot, which is something that's very important, you know, in a business, is to be able to market yourself correctly. Do you want to talk a little bit about those struggles that I know that we talked about that you had when it comes to marketing yourself for this new audience that you're trying to grab for your business?
Yeah, it definitely, like, for me, I've always been, like, on Instagram, like, a very, I'll post when I feel like it, very feely about it. And I think that, like, there's this line, especially being a business owner, of, like, sometimes you just need to act. Like, you can't overthink things. Like, sometimes you need to just act, make the decision, and then if it needs to be changed, you change it later.
Yeah.
So I feel like with Instagram, I've definitely just had to, like, act and, like, you know, keep going and like post more than I used to, and just like see what works, what doesn't. And now that Ileana's on the team, it's been like really fun because like we've been able to do stuff together, and it's not just me anymore. So yeah, it's definitely been helpful as a tool, you know, to use Instagram. But I think that there's a lot of other things that you can use to grow. Like I definitely believe in like using your current clientele. So like growing through your current clients, like with email lists and reaching out to clients. Like sometimes if I haven't seen someone in a long time, I'll actually like send them a message like, hey, I'm thinking of you, hope you're well. You know, and obviously like I don't want to force anybody to come see me or anything. I literally have formed relationships with people where I truly care about them. Yeah, and I want to know how they are. So it's like, you know.
But you know what? That's actually a really good point that you're saying, like sending that little message of like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? You know, thinking of you. We're in times where it's like everyone's kind of all over the place. You know, you're so busy, especially now in these months with the holidays. Sending that little message can, you know, actually make someone's day.
Yeah.
And then that's going to come like along in the long term, meaning like they're going to think of you back like, hey, oh, wait, you know, like today I woke up with my face like, you know, whatever, I have acne. Oh, wait, let me text Grace.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then that's how you start to get that clientele back as well. So I think that that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
What would you say?
About
As
what?
like being a new esthetician too, like doing that stuff.
I think it's
like your own experience, I'd say.
I think it's easy to forget. Like I just started. I mean, I just started like 2 months ago. So even just like, thank you, like following up like the day after, like how's your skin, and then depending too on the service. Like if you're doing like microneedling, which I do a lot, it's like okay, a week after, how's your skin, right?
Yes.
And then like so it's kind of like keeping track of like also where in their skin journey, like knowing like okay, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, they're due for another facial. So I think it's just a matter of also too like taking actual like writing down notes about each client and like what you even spoke about and where, you know, how their skin is, because it's easy to forget. Like sometimes even when you see someone new and you're like, okay, who is this client again?
Yes.
And then it takes a bit. Yeah.
You're like, what did we do last time?
And then you see their face and you're like, okay, I remember. But I think it's better obviously to just keep a record.
I agree.
Of that.
I'm definitely huge on that. Like I always write down what I did with every client. So like if you guys came in, I would be like, okay, we did the pumpkin mask or whatever. And I would like keep a record of what we did and kind of like just notes about everything in general, like where you live, where you work, like because it's so easy to forget when you see X amount of clients per week. You know, you can't remember everything.
Yeah.
So notes are really, really helpful. And also the check-ins, like you said, like I love checking in on my clients. And like I said, like it's a relationship. And I feel like that's so much of what this industry is like we're talking about more than a facial, all this kind of stuff. Like it is a relationship, you know? So
yeah, it's something you need to like nurture.
Totally. Yeah.
I do like I have this acupuncturist. She's amazing. Like I really do love her, but you can tell she's always busy.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I went to her like a few weeks ago, and like she saw my tattoo, like the second session of my dog. He passed away, and so I have like a little tattoo of him. And she asked me about him, and she's like, "Oh, how did he pass? Whatever." And then like 2 weeks ago, same thing. She asked me the same question.
You were like, I told you.
Yeah. I mean, I
Were you
know,
not listening?
like, I know as like a service provider, like that you just, it's easy to forget because especially her, she's like booked, right? So like she's seeing so many people. And I was a little bit like we literally had this conversation.
Yes.
And she told me like, oh, did you vaccinate your dog? Like you shouldn't vaccinate. Like we had the same
Yeah.
exact conversation.
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like it feels good when you remember things about
Yes.
people. So I think even just writing notes, like you said,
Yeah.
like where do they live? Okay,
Yeah.
like, you know, just like
And
about
those
the
are the-
relationship. Because
Yeah,
people open
totally.
up to you a lot
Yeah.
in facials.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah.
a therapist,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And these, like, to me, these are the little touches that, like, the little things that go a long way, you know, like why you would choose someone over someone else, you know, like what is the experience that you get? Because, you know, a lot of us are really talented, you know, but what makes each of us unique and that special sauce, like, you know, what's unique about all of us, you know?
Yeah. And what would you give like a tip to someone who doesn't know how to find that uniqueness for themselves?
Oh, that's a hard one because I feel like I think that honestly it happens over time. And like especially like if you're newer in the industry, like just continuing to do what you feel passionate about, you know, like if it's waxing, if it's chemical peels or facial massage, you know, like whatever is like your niche that you're feeling really passionate about. I think to really hone in on that. Because for me, like when I started in this career, like almost 18 years ago, I wanted to be in a super medical setting. I wanted like lights on, clients laying on top of the table. I did not want to massage people. I wanted something completely different than how my journey turned out. And I'm so grateful for how it turned out because my job truly grounds me. It like helps me in so many ways. But like I also had to just like be open to the journey because I started working at these like spas, like where I'm like, wait, I have to massage these people. I don't want to. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That's just to cut you off real quick. That's really funny because when I do go to certain like other spas, I always find me personally, like as a client, I would love to get a massage, right? While you're waiting for, you know, the mask to finish off or whatever, instead of just standing there like not doing anything.
Yes.
Or leaving the room.
Yeah, or leaving the room. Like if you just stay in there and like, I don't know, like massage my neck or massage like my arms, like you do that, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
I
And
do
I
not
love
leave
that
you.
because I feel like for the entirety of the hour or the hour and a half, however long the facial
Yeah.
ends up being, not once do you not do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're the
Yeah, yeah.
entire time it's an experience. Like
Yes.
you're either massaging the person, you're either doing the sound bowl, you're either, you know, giving me tips and tricks onto what's going on like with my skin or the client's
Yeah.
skin. It's like that to me is so special, which is why I think you're so unique in my eyes compared to other people that I've gone to see. They play it a little bit more like by the book, by the rule, like, okay, this is what I need to do from start to finish, rather than just going with the flow and making each person their own personalized experience.
Yes.
But I think some people, because I have had a client, for example, one where she was just like, just massage my face. Please don't touch my neck. I don't like being massaged in my arms. I've heard some people say like, because where I work, it's more like clinical.
Yeah.
And I actually want to get more into like the massage and stuff like that.
I could see you
And
doing that.
I've had even like a girl say like, no, I just want results. Like I don't care about like face massage or anything, but it's so beneficial, first of all. So
Yeah.
that it's like,
Yeah.
you need to educate
But that's
them
why
on
it's
that.
important for in the beginning for people, you know, for the esthetician to ask, you know,
Yes.
what, you know, how are you feeling to like you actually do that. How, like
Oh,
that's the first
yeah.
thing you ask. How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
From there, you can kind of like, you know, assess the situation and like feel off of that person's like vibes and energy and be like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, today they're going through like a hard time, so I know that I'm gonna do this, or you know
For
what,
sure.
today I think she's gonna fall asleep. She's just does not want to talk
doesn't feel like
today.
talking.
Yeah, and then you can kind of like just feel it out and
Yeah.
go with the flow rather than just assuming.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel it's really important to kind of, you know, find out about your client prior, kind of like going back to the notes, so that you know who you're dealing with,
Yeah.
right?
But
Yeah.
also staying true to yourself. Like you're gonna attract people that want what you're giving. Like
Yes.
those girls that they don't want you to touch their shoulders. They don't want that. Like they're gonna go to
Yeah,
someone
somewhere
who
else.
somewhere
that's
else.
like quick in and out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I think staying true to yourself, you're also gonna enjoy giving the facial more, right? Because I'm sure,
Yeah.
like, did you practice at those more like med spa places? Like, did you get to experience that?
I never. Life took me in a different direction. Like I really, where I ended up working before I moved to Florida, when I worked in Wisconsin, I worked at this giant day spa that was like 75 women that worked there, all
wow.
girls.
Whoa.
It was huge. And it was like known in the area to be like the spa. And I was at a, very massagey type of environment, and then when I came down to Florida, I applied at med spas, but I just kept getting hired at like these luxury hotel spas and like having these different experiences where like life was like, no, you're not doing that right now.
Yeah.
Like this is where you're supposed to be. And really looking back, I'm so grateful because like I said, like my work truly grounds me because I feel that I'm a channel in the time that I'm working with someone. And I really want to get out of the way when I'm working on someone and it's not about me. Like it's about my client. And I really just like, I even usually do a prayer. Like when I do my inhalations, I'm always like, work through me, to give whatever it is that this person needs, and that like, if I didn't meditate that morning or whatever, I feel like that moment for me is meditation because it's like me showing up, being of service to someone else. And it's not like me being focused on myself and all about me or what I do. It's about my client, which is why they come to me.
And that's what I was going to say. It's really, honestly, it's really special.
Aww.
Like it's really, when I told you, I'm like, I need to just, I will gladly drive the hour that I have to come and see you because it's just, again, like the experience that you offer is just amazing. From the moment that you walk in to your spa to the moment that you walk out, you're a whole new person. No matter what it is that you're going through, I don't know how to, I don't know how to like say it. You just gotta experience it for yourself. Go see her because it's just it's real. It's real.
Yeah,
it's very special.
I'm so
I think
glad
you're a very
that you can
special
feel
person.
That. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you can feel that. But like truly, my life is what took me to like this place. Like I just kept being open. Like even with the Reiki, it was like I just was like, man, I'm touching people all the time. Like why not give them energy work like at the same time, and like also helping me because I'm an empath. So for me, a lot of times, like if someone is having a bad day, they're even going through a breakup, I'm like, oh,
yeah, that
I
energy
feel
like
you.
sucks
I
into
feel
you
it,
and you start feeling the same.
Yeah.
But I love what you said about, because I'm a Reiki master too. So when I first started doing Reiki, I would get in my head a lot and I'd be like, oh my God, is it working? Am I doing it right? Oh my God. Like about everything, even like hypnosis, is it working? Am I doing it right? And then I remember I had a mentor tell me like, it's not about you. Like stop thinking about whether you're doing it right or wrong and start thinking about them. Like just be there for them, And I think that goes back to like the whole comparison thing and like just self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Like sometimes it's actually easier just to put that aside and be like, okay, let me not focus on my self-doubt and my insecurities and like focus on just giving a really good service and making this person feel good.
Yeah.
Like it's as simple as that.
It is. It really is. It's like getting out of the way, giving this person what they came here for, doing the best that you can with the tools that you have, like that really is it. And I just think, I don't know, as humans, I always think we want to be somewhere else. Like we want to be like, have 25 years of experience when we have one, and it's like, you can't get there from there. Like there has to be that in between. And I like really believe in the journey. And I think that all of us have something unique and special to offer in whatever field that you're in.
And you'll find it.
Yeah, and
you
you'll
just
find
gotta
it.
go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because those milestones are always like short-lived. Like we get to like our first destination and we're like, but it's really the journey where you learn and you grow and you become like a better esthetician.
Yeah. And this industry, I feel like, is always evolving, always changing. There's always things to learn. And I definitely think that that's something that I try to do is like stay up on the industry in general, like new products coming out, new services, like even with the medical side that I'm not like involved with. I still like to know what are the lasers, what are people doing? My clients will ask me about a CO2 laser or whatever it is. And I like to be able to know so that I can also, help them afterwards or before, prepping them for something like that if they're going to go to a more medical spa or something like that. So,
and if there was estheticians who are looking to go into the holistic route, what would you recommend for them to do?
I think, again, it's about like kind of seeing where is your niche, like if you really love like facial massage or, Reiki or whatever it is. I think like really honing in on that and like getting training, like learning more, practicing on like your friends and your family, I just think education is huge. And the more that you learn and the more that you practice something, the better that you get at it. And I mean, the word holistic now is such a trendy word and it's so widely used. And like, for me, I try not even, I use the word, but I really try to explain it in a way of like it being about the entirety of a person. So I'm not just like holistic, like I'm using clean beauty or like organic products, which that can be holistic too, but really about like the mind, body, spirit connection of your entirety, and treating you as a whole, not just one part of you. And especially all we know like from skin is it's our largest organ. So like it's a big thing, and I always say you only get one skin, so treat it right,
So true.
Yeah.
Do you offer trainings?
I don't right now.
Okay.
I mean, that's something that I definitely am interested in doing in the future is like I would love to teach Reiki also and some skincare stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. Maybe 2025.
So like, where do you think? Like, okay, so obviously you started a new chapter, right?
Yes, girl.
So like,
New.
in your journey now, what do you feel like your journey right now is teaching you as an esthetician?
She's like, hard question.
No, I feel like I have the answer to that because it feels like humility. It feels like it is teaching me so much about humility. Because I had this like thing of like, I've been an esthetician for this long. I've worked here. I've done this. Which is cool and great. But at the same time, like I'm new kid on the block, and I'm like working to gain the trust of my community up there and like branching out, giving out my cards, like doing things that I don't want to do, like physically walking into places and like, hey, here's my card. I'm new in the area, stuff like that. So I feel like I've really had to be humble and like kind of feel like I'm starting over again. But in a weird way, I love it. I like have complained about it throughout the last year and felt like, oh my God, why do I have to do this? But then at the same time being like, wow, this is so cool. Like I get to like have my own business and like do this.
Because I feel like changes also kind of help when it comes to that, right? It's like you're so used to doing the same thing. Like it's a routine.
Yeah.
Right? Morning to night, you're like, okay, I got this. You don't even have to think through it. And then the moment that it just kind of switches up on you and you're like, whoa, I need to work for it, or whoa, like something's up and I got to figure it out. Like you're kind of like reworking your brain.
Yeah.
to like have this new experience and then you start getting it and you're like, okay, it's not that bad. So it freaks you out for a little bit. And sometimes too, I feel like just in general, it might kind of bring you down and want to stop. Right?
Yeah.
That's, I think, something like that's really big.
Totally.
So how would you say that when that happens, I'm sure that did happen to you, how did you kind of like snap out of that and tell yourself like, just keep going?
Yeah, I definitely had a moment. I will tell you there a couple months ago, actually, I had a moment that I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to say, no, I'm done. Like I'm not a business owner and I'm going to go work for a spa. Like just close this down. This was fun while it lasted. And then I told my boyfriend actually, and he was just like, no. This is just a temporary moment. Like it's all going to get better. And like a lot of my friends and everybody was very encouraging for me, which I'm so grateful for all the people that have supported me throughout all of this, because that's been a huge thing of when I doubt myself, my support system is strong and they are like, no, you can do it, and and also seeing other women that have been where I am, you know, like a lot of successful women, entrepreneurs have wanted to stop, you know, wanted to quit. And it's like, it's funny because when I had that moment and I decided like, okay, I'm just going to keep going. And for me, like I believe in God and higher power, spirituality, universe, whatever. So I prayed and I was like, you know, help me because I show me the way, you know, because I don't know what the right way is. Like, am I supposed to just, is this a sign that like it's getting hard and maybe this isn't my route? And I just was like, okay, I'm going to do the next thing that's in front of me. And that was, you know, having to write an email that day or call a client back or whatever it was. And then it's crazy because I ended up like surrendering and really letting go of like this wanting to control. And what happened was honestly, everything just started falling into place. I was having all these new clients coming in. I was having, you know, people find me on Google or Yelp or whatever, Instagram. And like the people that I want, like how you had talked about earlier, like the people that want what I have to offer.
I think it's also just like a lesson of patience too, right? Like faith, one, and patience. And I think you have to have a strong vision to like hold on to. Like you have to understand the bigger picture to keep you going.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of elements, like it's kind of like a recipe that you need to be successful. And I think that faith is a huge one.
Yes.
Like, I mean, my story is a little bit similar, even though I'm like just starting out, like, and I decided to go to esthetician school, it was like a last minute decision. Like I was like, do I go? Do I not go? Like, I don't know. Like it was kind of like a last resort thing. I actually wasn't working here at the time. And then I went to school and then like the company reached out and then now everything has been falling into place. And it just shows like if I wasn't patient, because there was a lot of times where I was like, well, what am I doing? Like, you know, but if you just say like, okay, it's going to get better. Like if you can just like have like one affirmation maybe that's like, it's going to get better. For some reason in my head, I was like, by September, everything is going to be fine. Because for some reason, whenever it's a hard year, towards the end of the year, things start to turn around for me.
Yeah.
So
and that's
weird.
what I was going to say, like just to bring up on that, I feel like the affirmations, it's so real. You know, if you go and you just talk to yourself like out loud, if you write down like what it is that you want in life and you just talk it out and you really tell yourself like to believe it, it's gonna come true. Because kind of just what you said, like how it happened to you in the past couple months, it also happened to me in the past couple months. I would say like in March, I went through a lot this year and I was gonna go through like a whole entire different, I guess like, I don't know. I was thinking about a lot of things and I was like, I don't know what I want to do like with my life and this and that. And I just had a moment where I felt like everything was crumbling down. And I just took a moment to kind of sit down, write my affirmations, you know, like what is it that I want, you know, for this year? What is it that I want for next year? And when I was going into the process and doing some of these things that I wanted to make happen, other things here were for some reason coming back to life, meaning like, I wanted to, like, let's just say I wanted to go and do this one thing. When that was in the process of happening, whatever it was that I was not expecting to happen here was starting to happen. So it's kind of like that, like it's giving you a message, right? Where you kind of like start to give up and it's going to like, someone's telling you like, stop,
Don't
give up. Yeah, and then they kind of give you like a little bit of like like a rude awakening, like boom. And then you're like, wait, I did all of this stuff for nothing because now I'm back to like, it's offering me what I need. Yeah. So I think that that's super important. And I know that everyone has moments where they want to give up. But don't give up.
Yeah, don't give
please
up.
don't give up.
Yeah,
don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
No, and I didn't give up. I definitely didn't give up. And I feel like...
And here you are.
Yeah, and I think, too, for new estheticians, especially now that the industry has gotten so big, like when I became an esthetician, I would like go somewhere and people would be like, what do you do? And I'd be like, I'm an esthetician. They're like, what's that? They'd be like, an anesthetist? And I'm like, no, no, that's not what I do. But... I feel like the industry has changed so much, and especially with Instagram, like speaking of comparing, like I know that it's so easy to like go on and see like an esthetician that has, you know, a ton of followers and be like, oh my gosh, like why don't I have that? Or think that they're really busy. And sometimes, you know, like outward appearances aren't the inward truth. And, you know, again, back to like honing in on, your special sauce, like who you are and what you have to bring to the table, and like really working on that and nurturing your own confidence and what you have to bring, you know, because that's what it's all about. Because I think that comparison is such a trap. And
it really is.
Yeah, and it like keeps us stuck, you know?
I think people can read through it more than we know. Like subconsciously, if you watch like a reel or you watch a story and you know someone's being inauthentic, then there's something about it that you're like, and
yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like we all want to work with whoever we're working with. We want to trust the person, right? And so if you feel like someone's being themselves, even if they're like super annoying, right?
So yesterday, actually, I was listening to this podcast that was talking about like 2025 predictions for Instagram specifically, and it was saying that it's really important, kind of going back to what it is that you were saying about like your audience, knowing your niche, that kind of stuff. Once you bring all of that down to, you know, what exactly it is that you want to convey, like what message you want to convey, when it comes to creating content, you just post whatever it is that you feel like posting based on a specific audience, whether it be, you know, for Reiki or whether it be for, you know, head massage, whatever it might be. Once you post that out, the audience will find itself, right? You don't need to worry about who is going to see this. Oh, you know, there's millions of people that are on Instagram. I wonder who's going to see this, who's not. No, don't worry about that. You just do your content, you post it. Whoever it needs to find, it's going to find. So I think that that's something that people need to think about when they start creating content. Like, it's not so important to take, you know, a day to create a video and look at it over and over and over and over. No, you have that idea, create that content, push it out, and it will be found. Like, take the action. Exactly.
Like, just do it.
Just do it.
It goes back to what we were saying, like just focus on the message. Stop thinking so much about yourself and how people are going to perceive you online and your looks and everything. Because, I mean, I've done the same thing. Like, I'll make a video and be like, I said that weird.
We've all done it. Like, we're such critiquers, you know, when it comes to that. You're like,
people
oh,
don't
I don't
care
like the way I
about
looked.
that.
Or, oh my God, I said this wrong. Or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, we're human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to come out perfect.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, and it's about relating, you know, like we're looking to relate. It's a social platform. Like it's, you know, and treating it like that, you know, like I think that that's a good way to kind of go into 2025 is just take the action and see where it lands, you know?
I want to ask one more question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so just like speaking about 2025, what is like your plan for this year? Like what is your vision for this year?
I haven't really like sat down like and wrote, which I do like to do. I'm definitely a writer with stuff. But I would say as of now, what I feel for 2025 would definitely be continuing to grow and expand, maybe bring in the education aspect, and just really feel settled. Like I feel like this year was so much about like me finding my balance. And now I feel like going into 2025, like really bring in that work-life balance, especially as an entrepreneur. It's a lot of work to do that. And I think I've kind of found my groove and just kind of focusing on, you know, both work and fun. I think this last year, like, was not about fun. Like, it was really, like, working and, like, trying to, you know, kind of get acclimated up north. And I just had people over actually at our house last week for like a little party. And I was like, oh my God, like I need this. Yeah, like I need to have fun. And I think a lot of like solo estheticians, entrepreneurs, like it's good to like remember, like have fun too, you know? Because when I like try to give from an empty cup, like there's no way. Like I'm so depleted. So like, you know, kind of giving back to myself. I feel like I'm definitely in a more even space so I can see what's next, you know,
I love that.
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, that's the most
next
important.
Year, fun.
Yeah,
fun is your word.
Fun. I want to have fun and balance. Yeah.
I think you'll find it.
Yeah.
You finally have like you feel like you have your 2 feet on the ground and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see your journey. If you guys want to see Grace's journey, make sure to follow her on Instagram, right? What's your handle?
It's Radiant Grace Soulful Skincare.
And then your website?
RadiantGraceBeauty.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're so happy to have had you.
Thank you
It's
guys
been
so
such
much.
a good experience.
I'm so grateful that you guys
Yeah.
asked me. I feel honored to be on Esthetician
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.